Okay, so in this little episode, we're going to be talking about the band Fantômas and largely about their album, The Director's Cut. So here's a little mini bio. The band takes its name from the Fantômas character, which is a French supervillain. And I've also heard reference to Fantômas elsewhere, but I can't say I'm really that familiar with that whole background, but seems like an interesting villain. But anyway, in 1999, Fantômas released its self-titled debut album, and their second album, The Director's Cut, which is an album full of metal covers of mostly horror movie and TV show themes, was released in 2001. Their third album, Delirium Cordia, was put out in 2004, and the fourth album, Suspended Animation, was released in 2005. And, just to let you know, they do have a live album too called Live in London 2006, and that was released as the Fantômas slash Melvin's Big Band in 2008. So I'd almost say that their music is like a weird sound based game of chess. It has this almost cat and mouse kind of feel. And I guess, bands like Mr. Bungle that Mike Patton was also involved with have a similar feel. You might even say a little bit schizophrenic or whatever in the constant changing of moods or whatever. But this isn't quite as crazy as Mr. Bungle, although it's still a little bit out there. I would still say there's more of a consistent feel throughout one of their songs or even throughout the entire album than you would get from Mr. Bungle or something like that. And one of the band's most recent releases is actually a split release with Sugar Daddy, and it's called, Sugar Daddy Live Split Series Volume 10 with Melvins. So I haven't listened to that one, but that's apparently their most recent venture, as far as I know. And Fantômas was formed in 1998 by Mike Patton, who's known for his association with Faith No More and Mr. Bungle and Tomahawk. And the other band members include bassist Trevor Dunn, who previously played with Mr. Bungle. You also have drummer Dave Lombardo, formerly of Slayer, and Buzz Osborne of Melvins. So as far as the album that I'm talking about today, which is the director's cut, I definitely would recommend it if you like to hear some metaled out versions of things like the Godfather theme. There's also Experiments in Terror, which is something originally composed by Henry Mancini. You also have the theme to One Step Beyond, which was sort of like almost like a Twilight Zone kind of show from back in the 1950s, only it was supposed to be based in true stories. So I suppose you could say it's a little bit like Unsolved Mysteries. But you also have the Cape Fear theme, Rosemary's Baby, which is really great. Um, Definitely check out the original soundtrack to the original Rosemary's Baby movie as well. And you also have the theme to the movie Spider Baby by Fantômas, which is actually pretty fun. That's another movie that you might want to check out at some point. It's a quirky horror movie, but it's actually pretty fun. Then there's a cover of The Omen, and you also have Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer as well. So you've got Jerry Goldsmith thrown into the mix. And let's see. There's even a very, very short, untitled track that's basically nothing. It's only 5 seconds. But, they saw fit to put that in there. Then there's Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me and Charade, and there's also Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion by Ennio Morricone. The guy who's most famous for the theme to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, perhaps. But of course, he did a lot of other classic film scores. Just great stuff. I would recommend this album, if you're looking to hear alternate versions of those themes. Frankly, I think these songs are too short, though. Like, if I was going to make one complaint about this album, I would say that the songs are all a little bit too short. There isn't even, I mean, looking at the track times, there isn't, well, there is one that's 4 minutes long. But some of these, honestly, I think they could have been extended out even before or beyond the 4 minute mark. Before, Jesus Christ, can't really talk right now. But anyway, yeah, if they would have made some of the tracks a little bit longer, I don't know, I think that would have been better. So not really that much of a complaint. It's still a good album. I would definitely recommend listening to it more than some other albums that are out there. Of course, you could probably you know play this album for like a Halloween themed playlist, I would say, too, because there are enough horror movies on here, and even the non horror themes are a little bit, I guess, spooked out, you might say. Um, but anyway, really, I don't have much more to say about it. It's a quirky album that I enjoy listening to every great once in a while. I don't listen to it that frequently, but I hear the tracks every so often. And yeah, that's about it. Have a good day.